Okay, here we are. We are here to watch the closest bridge game I have ever won in my life by Npesta, which is a great video, by the way. He commentates over it through the whole game, so you get his perspective of this as well. I'm going to have it muted throughout this, just for the sake of not having to talk over something. I could maybe there would be something to glean from him saying something and me disagreeing with it, but in any case, I think it'll be a much cleaner... Ooh. Almost dropped my phone. I think it'll be a much cleaner and simpler experience if I just go ahead and mute it for now. I have seen the first game. I did watch fully through the urban game, but I did not watch the Treehouse game. I know it's Treehouse because I've seen it, but I haven't seen the full thing. I obviously know the score line because I have seen the thumbnail, which, by the way, may be my favorite. Maybe my favorite thumbnail of any video I've ever seen. I mean, it tells the story. It tells the story in beautiful detail. So we're gonna be watching this video, and I'm very excited to do exactly that. But before we do, I feel it worth mentioning. A lot of the errors in this video, that Npesta makes, are mechanical, right? Just mechanical errors, which is completely fair. If I'm going to be completely transparent, I'm sure Npesta will say the exact same thing. The biggest, massive, gleaming weak point in Npesta's game is his mechanics, is his movement ability, his aim, his etc. Like, just the general mechanical ability to move his Minecraft character, which, to be fair, considering how recently in the long term, in the span of how when he got into this game, it's actually it's not bad, if I'm being completely honest, but it is definitely a weak point of his game, and that much is obvious to at least me, and I assume to him as well. I've heard him speaking about it quite a bit. I think in this video he mentions that he feels his opponent was I am Velo, something like that. He mentions that he believes that his opponent is the primary advantage they have is their mechanical advantage. Anyway, point is that I think my personal mentality of how to practice mechanics, if I were to give advice to Npesta, right, and a lot of this video I think is going to be framed in the perspective of if I were coaching Npesta directly, right? Because this is his video, this is his gameplay. He asks for advice in the description. That's kind of the reason I messaged him and asked him permission to be able to use this for a video, or if to do this exact sort of breakdown. He was like, yeah, sure. But point is that, right, I have two main sort of mentalities when it comes to how to practice mechanics. I have definitely found myself leaning towards a specific type of mechanical practice, which I can show you here. This is a sort of, I would describe it as maybe an altered version of globbing, which is my primary one. If I'm not editing this, I can't put up screenshots, but I have a lot of footage of me just running around a world where there's just block spammed everywhere. If I actually leave this and go to my other housing, I think is a good example of exactly that here. Just blocks spammed everywhere, right? And this is decent practice for mechanics, just running around, making sure your movement and your parkour and stuff is good. This is what I would say is my personal methodology for practicing mechanics. But if I were to, just because it's very easy to get in, and I think a big part of it as well is not just part of the reason why I've stopped doing this as much is because I've gotten into the habit of being a little too easy on myself with it. I find myself running around. I find myself running around here, very just casually and placing one or two blocks. When in reality, the goal is to practice mechanics, right? So you should be constantly pushing yourself, constantly trying to do stuff that you wouldn't be able to do 100% of the time until eventually you can, right? Imagining yourself in a very high intensity bridge game in which these movements are critical ones, and you need to do them quickly and efficiently and with high consistency. And eventually, that starts rubbing off. My issue is I got into the point where I kind of just ran around into parkour forever, so I don't do this as much as I maybe should. Point is that if I were to recommend a different strategy or a different approach to mechanical practice, it would be something along these lines where you find a specific sort of practice or a specific thing that you want to practice, via, for this example, I'm going to be using a Berserk montage here. You just find some mechanic of something interesting, some mechanical movement or set of movements that you feel like would be good that you don't think you would be able to do consistently. So what it looks like here is he's standing here, he jumps onto these blocks that he places, he builds himself up 3, turns around, builds up 2, and then turns around, builds up 2, and then tallies over the opponent that dropped down. Is that Npesta? No, it's not Npesta. Okay, I was gonna. that would have been quite the crossing of worlds. But he tallies over him and then runs in. So if I were to want to practice this, I'll wait for OBS to switch over. I would be doing something similar. I would be going into. Okay, I guess my block didn't exist. That's fine. I'll be going into this world and doing a very similar thing, just practicing. Oh, Jesus. You can tell out of the different things that I was trying to do, which one is the weakest in my personal game. But I would be going through and trying to practice those mechanical difficulties, or whatever I have difficulty mechanically, or whatever I specifically am trying to aim for, and I would go and do that sequence of movements to try to get it into my muscle memory, so then in a game, if I find myself in a situation that's similar, I can quickly adapt and I can quickly work with it. Those are two kind of ways to practice mechanics outside of directly just playing, but if I'm being realistic, most bridge players probably aren't super willing to do that, so if I'm being honest, what I expect and what I would honestly recommend for most people who don't have the patience, who don't have the time to just literally go out of their way and practice mechanics directly, is to just play bridge games like you're a psycho. Just play bridge games. Don't think about winning. Don't be trying to like perfect. Don't be trying to capitalize on everything little thing. Don't be trying to perfectly do everything you can to have the highest % chance to win this game. Just play super fast and like a psycho. Play like an idiot. Play like you need to, like, the next decision that you make has to be made as soon as possible, and if it's made any later than that, you melt. Like, that is the mentality that you have to be going into if you really want to do this, right? It's the limit testing at, like, constantly extending the extent of your capabilities mechanically in game, and that's just a mentality shift for if you're trying to practice mechanics. It probably will not win you as many games, but it'll definitely win you more games in the future when you do start trying to win those games again, rather than just going for psychotic stuff and moving quickly and stuff like that. So, with all of that out of the way, we are 8 minutes into the video, and we haven't even played a second of the actual thing that we're doing a breakdown of. I just felt it worth explaining that, because like I said, like if I didn't explain that, if I didn't go through this, if I didn't sit here and say that, a lot of these goals that he gives up, or mistakes that he makes, if I sit here and say, like, I would just have to say every time, oh, mechanical error, here's what you should have done mechanically instead, and it's like, I assume most of the time Npesta mechanically knows probably what he's trying to do, he's just not as quick to move and do it. And so I thought, before anything starts, before we even get into it, is just, here's how you practice the thing that you're weakest in. Like, this is the thing that, like, I think Npesta would agree that is his weakest weak point, and I'm sure that there are a lot of people who are watching this who are in a similar boat where they feel that this is their, like, this or that is their, like, mechanics are their weakest point of their game. If you feel that way, those are my personal strategies and what I personally use and have used to practice mechanics. I use Velo against Npesta. This is a ranked bridge game. And Npesta has a lot of, like, there's stakes behind it. He talks about his emotional state and what he believes might have been better decisions throughout. With that being said, let's actually play the damn video. Nope, I lied because I have one more thing I want to say. And that's this. I think to take the opinion of get beta. I think to take the opinion of anyone at face value without your own interpretation of it, without your own your own perspective, or giving room to disagree with the person speaking, is ignorant and not a good approach. So I want to sit here and say that while I am experienced in bridge, I am also definitely I have my weaknesses. I am outside of the current meta of the game to a decent degree just because of my lack of playtime. I have a good understanding, I can adapt, and I can learn quickly. I can understand why something might be being done, even if I've never seen it before. So I have experience and skills, yes, but I also have weaknesses, and so I want to, before anything even happens, I want to make it very clear that I am not perfect, and I want you to disagree with me. I want you to go into the comments and tell me how stupid something I said in this video is, because I'm probably going to say stupid stuff. There's probably strategies in here that you're going to be like, oh, that's this thing that is named after this person who did it, and I'm going to be like, I've never heard that person's name in my life, right? And that's just how it is, and that's just what you should expect. So, point is that I think, as much as I can give you, you should take what I give with a grain of salt, with the idea that, well, you know, my experience is different. You know what I'm saying? Because everyone's experience is different. This isn't my gameplay. This isn't what I was thinking. This is my perspective on somebody else's gameplay, right? This is not, don't take what I say as gospel, take it as whatever the fuck you want. You know what I mean? Use it as you can, is the idea. Okay, now we're actually gonna play the fucking video. We're gonna play it. I do keep in mind I am gonna pause a lot. I just want to say that before this even starts. I'm gonna be freestyling this, so I'm gonna be pausing throughout quite a bit of it. But that's all the preliminary warbling out of the way. That hippo. Yeah, probably voiding. Yeah, I think I remember him voiding here, because he is definitely, as of right here, he's standing in mid. Velo's here with desync. He's actually probably a little bit farther forward. So it makes sense that he would. Well, actually, with desync, it doesn't matter if he's any farther forward. How far forward he is visually is exactly how far he will be when he scores. Point is that if Velo mechanically is capable of doing this, if you're confident that he's going to be able to bypass there, you should void, which he does do. But I think Velo also does, maybe because he mechanically messed up. Yeah, that's what it looks like. But in any case, okay, right here is oh Jesus. Okay, right here is interesting. He drops down after building up here. I'm gonna speed ahead a little bit. Right here, I think he's trying to bridge. I don't think he meant to drop down there. But as soon as he did, my first instinct is, oh, like, there's something to be said for, in this position, like, when you're up here, there's something to be said for dropping and going for the aggressive play. Like, there's something to be said for dropping and full aggroing, to try to hit them back and build up even more, get some more pressure, get some more positioning. And so dropping here, it doesn't look like he meant to do that. Npesta is a very passive player, is what I would describe. He's very defensive, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's just a play style difference. In any case, though, a lot of the time, if I'm planning on playing defensive and I accidentally drop into an offensive position, a lot of the time it's better to just play that offensive position as if it's offensive. Because if Velo aggroed him here, if Velo aggroed him here and kept going forward instead of backing off like he did, that was a huge opportunity for Velo to come in and just smack him while he was trying to build back up onto his little pillar here, right? As soon as he, oops, that's the wrong one. As soon as he drops down here, I'd be thinking, oh shit, I gotta turn around, I gotta hit him, right? Because I didn't mean to drop down here. This was a mistake that I made, or at the very least, you know, maybe place blocks in front of him instead of here, because it's kind of scary. Or maybe turn and just hold the bow and look and see what he's gonna do, you know what I mean? Play it a little bit more reactive rather than just like, oh god, oh god, oh god, build back up, you know what I mean? And with that being said, I don't really like his next play here either, going out for that wing. I mean, like, it's it obviously doesn't work out very well, but it's just putting yourself in a very you look up, you see Velo there, you see that he's in a position that he very much so could move forward and play some blocks, and trying to wing out in that position is very much so just asking for exactly this to happen, for Velo to just come up and be like, oh, you're putting yourself in a vulnerable position, I'm gonna go smack you a couple times, and then Velo has all the opportunity in the world to get up here and just do exactly what you were doing, just the other direction, which it doesn't look like they chose to do. I don't know if I don't think that matters. That's not what this video is about. It's more about being from Npesta's perspective, but that's the idea. He goes for somewhat of a crater here. Oh, that's fine. Nothing too much to be said there. That's a nice shot and good spacing there on his bow shot and the hit. There's sort of two schools of thought. Oh Jesus, there's two schools of thought here. or I guess 3 technically, is you kill them, you build up here. Do you go off to a side, off to the other side, which is the 1.5 schools of thought, right? Or do you build forward and build a roof? I think it's all play style based. I don't have any qualms with him doing this. I could see myself doing this in a game, and I could also see myself roofing in a game. Both are completely fair. He panics real bad and jumps. That's just not. That's in this position. I'm thinking like, oh yeah, I'm the powerhouse, baby. Like I'm in the good position. I'm the one that like is dangerous, right? So if I get shot there, I'm like, oh, I'm even more dangerous. He doesn't have an arrow. He's not close enough to jump and hit me. I'm still alive, right? Like, I'm just sat here staring at him. He has no, like, I can do whatever I want. I can just sit here. I can drop down and place blocks and build, like, a massive down stack that I can then bypass off of later, right? There's just all sorts of options here. I'm in the power position. I can fill out this platform. I can do what I want. He panics and jumps. That is definitely, very clearly not the ideal play there offensively. Which, to be fair, like I said, Npesta is very much more so of a defensive player. So I think a lot of the qualms that I'm going to have with his gameplay are going to be offensive. Which here, I think I actually remember when I was watching it. I remember him talking about this. I remember him mentioning that he didn't like what he did here, and I don't either. I think you can dig down and go under. I think you can switch sides. I think you can turn around and then switch sides. I think you can build up and go for an aggro, which I think is the example, apologies, which I think is the example that he gave in the video. I think all of those are completely fair options. Definitely not digging towards them and then running towards them while they're standing there. I wouldn't call that a very good play, but that's okay. Yeah, I think this is where he was talking about how not great of a play that was. And then here, that's a fair mistake to make a lot of the time. What you'll do is you'll see somebody bypassing, so you'll just drop onto where they're going to be. Like you drop onto their blocks. It's unfortunate that he stops perfectly just where there's that one block gap there. That's unlikely, but the safest play from Npesta is probably to drop onto this block since he knows it's going to be there and it'll be in a very similar position as the other ones. Ends up just falling through, which isn't the worst thing in the world. Here's what I was thinking of earlier when he starts going for more of that like kind of cratering idea, which I very much so like. Defensively, I have very little things to say about his play a lot of the time. It is very well done in a lot of situations. Right there is maybe you don't aggro here since you know he's going to get the gap off. You can maybe actually play it a little bit passively. Sit in here, just get here and then sit there and wait for him to come to you, because he's probably going to think you're going to be aggroing. So you play it passive to freak him out, and then you go in for the hit, because he's going to be trying to put himself in that little box. He's going to be trying to play off of what you do, and if you just kind of sit there, he's going to be like, ah, you know what I mean? You're in the power position, I would say, there, because he's very exposed. He's very uncomfortable. And going for him makes him more comfortable because he can hit you away and then gain more space for himself. Here, I think you just fall. Yeah, and Npesta just trips and falls mechanically. Another one here that's just a mechanical error that is very much so. I've already gone on the rant of how I would try to deal with those issues, and under pressure it's easy to make those mistakes anyway. I remember this freaked me out the first time I saw it. Look how far he goes out. So keep in mind, this is where I use Velo is, right? He's eating a gapple. Once he eats the gapple, he's going to run forward, right? Ah! Why are you here? Why are you here? Why are you here? Danger, danger, danger! Look at him. I think, if you look, I'm pretty sure the only reason that I use Velo is not up his ass right now is because of mechanical error. Yeah, I think he tries to jump up here. If he jumped up here and didn't trip like a little goon, you would be out. You would be gone. You would be in the fucking stratosphere. You would be so dead. Why did you build so far out here? It freaks me the fuck out. I don't mind the wall. I don't mind the idea there. The building it out so far freaked me out. So I don't know. I would probably go out to here. I'd probably do that and then turn around and be aware, be conscious of what they're doing. By chance, by God's grace, Npesta is able to build all the way out and then all the way back and just barely be back enough that when he gets hit, he gets hit with this back wall here. He gets hit with this block behind him. By some, like, if spirits exist, this was a gift. This is an unbelievable sequence that he this going out here freaked me out. It freaked me out so bad. I remember. But the point is that if you want to be in this position, don't. The problem that a lot of people can get into, the very easy thing to do is, I've built this wall 100 times, right? Mechanically, I know how to do it. I'm in the position of Npesta, right? I'm talking from his perspective. Is I've built this wall, I know how to do it, I'm gonna do it. Right? And the next game. And then the next game. You'd go, and then you'd get hit off. And you're like, what the fuck? That worked all the other times. It's because adaptation is necessary, right? Like, you need to be able to see the position, and you need to be able to say, okay, I can't build this full wall the same way I did that other game, but I can do part of it. I have time to do part of it, right? I think I mentioned I didn't see the Treehouse game. I did see the start of it. And the start of the Treehouse game, he slowly builds out his hippo throughout the game. And I think that's an incredible approach to especially the Treehouse hippo, since it's such a big, beefy one. It's hard to get out quickly, right? I really like how he does that in that game later, and I think that's a great representation of what I'm talking about, is the slow adaptation, the building of the constructing, the development of it over time, rather than going for big chunks that you can't actually, like, biting off more than you can chew. This is way more than he can chew, and it is just purely by chance, by coincidence, that he was able to get this off. It's an absolute miracle. Apart from that, I don't have qualms. I think he played this quite well, if I remember. Nope, I lied. This was the one where he tripped. That's just a parkour. That's just a mechanical error, like I was saying. I will say it is risky right here. Knowing these blocks knowing that block is there, right? The block that he just placed, that kind of puts him in an unfortunate position where turning around and running back is hard, especially after he runs this way. Because he runs this way, I'm not sure, maybe he thinks that he's going to be going this way, but he doesn't. He guessed wrong. So he runs the other way. This wall's in your way. This block's in your way. It's going to make this jump more awkward. It's going to, obviously this is a very, very quick, this is a very small interaction. It's easy to make mistakes like that. But in this position, the probably safer thing to do is be like, okay, they're in the advantageous position. I'm just going to sit with that, like, that red block that I placed. I placed that red block. I know I'm there. I'm just going to sit, like, right here and slowly break out this whole thing, right? Because if they go out either way, I'm fucked, right? Immediately. As soon as he dips out there, it's like, oh shit, I'm in a very uncomfortable position. Maybe, yes, if I maneuver correctly, I could be in a sort of even position where I'm here and they're down there, but even then, on this map, that's just as uncomfortable as it was over here, and they get more development out of it. So the passive hold and wait and watch and then adapt, rather than the go in for the kill right then and there, a lot of the time is a more, from my experience, a much more comfortable play. Although you will see later, I think, when there's more development on the map, he plays it more passively. And I think Npesta's one of his very good skills is in the map of, like, his mind. He's able to keep a conscious image and map of the game in his mind and understand where different the opponent's paths are and what to keep his eye out on and what to look for. In this feels very underdeveloped. This feels less out of Npesta's comfort zone. This more feels like, oh shit, what do I do? Spam blocks, I don't know, aggro, you know what I mean? Because the talent, the ability that he has is much more offers itself towards the much more complicated stuff that other people can get lost in. He doesn't. This is more, it's more reactive, it's more quick, it's more, I have all the room in the world, what am I going to do with it, rather than I have a lot of weird, intricate pathways, are you going to be able to keep up? And so this position is, again, even though there are some very small, like, strategical things that he could have done, like here, for example. I think obviously he tripped and fell there, but even when he's here, I think it's probably better to beeline for this rather than to try to get a hit because you're so far away, that it's better to try to, rather than do this sort of L motion that he does, just beeline for the thing, expecting that he's not going to be able to get there, especially if he has the bow shot still there. I think there are some small, mentality things, but a lot of it does really come down to that mechanical, we're in an open space, who's faster, who's better. It goes down to velo in a lot of those cases. Oh shit, what did I do? Oh wait, no, I think that was Npesta. I was gonna say, did I break it? I didn't mean to. Okay. That's a little thing. That's a little thing. You want to keep your, like, if you're cratering, you want to be able to maneuver around your crater quickly. That's another mechanical thing. Probably, actually, that practice that I was showing before in the what's it called? This position, or actually, it was more like this. Being capable of doing that is a lot of the time very helpful. In this exact position, it would have been very helpful to have that 3-block pillar under him. He could have jumped in up and then jumped on top of that and then just kept running, but instead he slipped and fell down the little hole. Very little thing, but not, definitely still worth pointing out, I think. Nothing super noteworthy there. I will say he plays this position uncomfortably aggressive for how advantageous it is for Velo. Like, Velo right here, he can place blocks right here and cut you off like it's nothing. Like, this is Velo's spot. Like, he wants to be here. He does. And then right here, you block, he's still in the same spot he was before. And he does block you off, or block him off, sorry. I don't know why I'm speaking as though I'm speaking to Npesta. That's strange. I guess I did say it is, the idea is coaching Npesta. Point is, though, that that playing that you are not in the good, you are in the passive, oh god, oh fuck, what do I do position. You're trying to mitigate that. You're not trying to get over here, you know what I'm saying? That's not what I would be trying to do in this position. And if I was, I would be doing it much less ballsy, because he really does just run in at every opportunity. Like, he's hounding. He smells blood in the water. Especially here too, like here now you are in the advantageous position. You can just slowly break those blocks and hit his feet from a distance because you have the low ground and the better position. He's going to be panicking. He's going to be, fucking about. Why are you running so far in? Why are you just giving them the opportunity to hit you back? It ends up working out, of course, though. I don't mind this so far. Okay. Yeah, that's not the end of the world. Building out 3 there is a little ambitious, especially with bridging this slow. Building all the way out here is like, he's right there. But it's not, it doesn't end up killing him. It's not the end of the world. I think I remember. Yeah, he does the exact same thing here, and again, it works out. It's ambitious, but not bad, necessarily. Here, I thought was interesting. In his commentary, he says he doesn't expect him to aggro him from behind. I see this. I don't know what else he would be doing, right? Because Velo, it looks like his switching sides opportunities from up there are kind of uncomfortable. I guess he could jump around there. But the point is that, like, in this position, you block this off, you're thinking, okay, they're behind me. Like, at least I'm thinking. I'm anticipating, I'm moving as though they are, right? So I'll switch sides. I'll probably place 2 blocks. If I place 2 blocks there, then I can look. Then I can just stop and see. I can place those 2 blocks, and placing those 2 blocks will aim my mouse up. It'll let me see, where are they? And then if they are following me, then I can do this, knowing that I have a back wall. If they aren't following me, then I can just break those again and just keep doing what I was doing already, keep developing this out, maybe dig this out, build out that sort of, central area. If you can just switch sides and place those blocks up quickly, it gives the 2-sided advantage of you can see if they're chasing you, and you can also run away if they are, and not run away if they aren't. But in any case, so he expects him not to be chasing him here, and plays it very, just run forward and hold W-ish. Which is, fine. Like, if that's the strategic, the issue there isn't mechanical, it's strategical. It's the idea of, well, you shouldn't have not known that they were chasing you. You should have found some way to find that out. done a play that adapted for more possibilities. Another one here. This one isn't necessarily bad, but I feel like he was moving forward as though the opponent didn't exist for a second there. Like he kind of like Velo's right on your ass here, right? Velo's right there, and you're right there. You should be expecting, they should be expecting, he should be expecting Velo to be right on your ass in this bypass, because, I mean, you just saw them. They just, fuck me. Npesta just saw Velo up there staring at him, getting shot the same way. They're going to be aggroing, and Velo's going to be on your ass. Boom, there they are. Look up holding your pickaxe. That's not a good look. That's not a good look. But it's fair. It's a fair mistake to make. A lot of the time you can get caught up in your own world. Ooh, that was awkward, but pulled it out. Definitely not a good race. Yeah, he voids here. I will say, definitely had an opportunity to build a decent bit out more here. Like, building out to there. Like, even... Like here, just place a block there, and then void, and then void. Like just walk off and spam blocks off the edge of this. That's probably what I would be trying to do. It maybe would have gotten me back a little bit later, but it would have been really nice. That felt scary to me. I'm not as much of a defender as Npesta is, but this right here builds this wall here. I'm not thinking aggro this direction, because Velo's gonna be he's gonna be going this way, and I'm gonna be stuck with this block in my way. It's fortunate that they didn't. I suppose maybe thinking about it, there is that massive wall in the way, but like with the gap here, it felt like there was only a couple blocks that they may have needed to break to slip through there quickly. But in any case, it does end up working out. I don't mind that aggro, keeping in mind the distance and keeping in mind, you know, they're probably going to be trying to go for that and switch sides rather than try to get around. I like it. I like it. I don't hate it. Again, I'm not as much of a defender, so I don't have as much input, if I'm being completely transparent. That was good. Good to go for the early hit there. Because you can, like, a lot of the time in PvP, you can expect people to be like, oh, basically, like, the one line in the bridge is really predictable. That's the one thing of top layer PvP in bridge that's very different from a lot of other PvP game modes, is it's just very straight. And people subconsciously over time, I've found, or I feel like this is my theory of why this happens, is people subconsciously think, oh, okay, there's a straight line here. So I'm going to do whatever I can to make me not go on that straight line. If I don't go on that straight line, I'll be more unpredictable than if I were to go on that straight line. So Velo's walking up here, his instinct, his inbuilt bridge, like, vibes, all of the time, all of the hours that he's put in is like, oh, sorry, I'm assuming Velo is a he. But he's like, this is not only not the straight line, it also has blocks behind it. Therefore, I go for it. But if he goes for this and you anticipate him going for that, like Npesta does here, he very quickly can get a super early hit on him while he's trying to cut across, while he's trying to do this, while he's trying to do that funky shit. It's not unanticipated, it's very anticipated. A lot of the time you can get very easy hits exactly like this. A lot of the time to just smack him away, because what are you doing? Why are you here? Go away. Go away. What are you trying to do? I like winging here, especially since you have that sort of wing there to all this sort of shenanigans. I don't hate it. I will say, it's 2 blocks and you look, man. Like here, 2 there, and then you look. You look, you see. You look, you see. That's the strat. You build a couple out. As soon as they respawn, you're looking to see whether they try to shoot you. If they do, you know, at least you're not just getting surprised by it. Oh, this position isn't super comfortable. Oh, this is a much more comfortable position. I don't know why Velo decided to go down and put himself in a little death pit there. I don't think that was a great play, but Npesta played it well. The reason why I say I would have anxiety here is because Velo has a lot of options. They can go up and back here, they can go up and back here, they can go down forward here, they can go down forward here. Sometimes keeping your positional advantage, the amount of options that you have, sometimes that's even more advantageous than any of the individual options are. So just playing this position and slowly, like, knocking out Npesta's health, since he is now at the health disadvantage, and his Velo has low ground, is much more comfortable. Like right there, going for that bypass. I don't know if I would greenlight that. I'd probably say build up, but this isn't me coaching Velo. This is me coaching Npesta. So, ooh, gap didn't go through. It works out though. They didn't notice. I think Npesta's in here. Yeah. I remember Npesta mentioning. I don't know if he said anything in the chat that time, but Npesta throughout the video mentions that Velo says some really funny stuff in the chat. I don't know, admit it is hilarious. It's so funny. It is Velo. He didn't like losing this. He was not happy with it. But in any case, I'll probably be skipping through most of it. You can go watch Npesta's video for that, because it is much more. Yeah, I think he goes through and talks about it there. But this PvP fight, I mean, obviously, just you can't be missing those. Can't be missing those, and then if you do miss those, you can't be going into it so aggressively, because it just gets you pooped on. But in any case, skip back, because he just shows them digging through, and then gets back into the game after. I like that instant turnaround. That's a very maybe high hours, high defensive hours kind of play. Is you see them here, you're like, oh shit. Like, I gotta go back now, because you see this is danger. This says danger. This is what this says. This frame says danger from a defensive perspective. So I really like that he turns around in full 180s and even jumps all the way back down as a precaution. I really like that, I'm not gonna lie, because it gives him a much more comfortable defensive position. To be fair, I think if Velo played this really well, they maybe could have placed a few blocks across here and then hit Npesta away, giving them a disadvantaged position. So maybe not ideally played. Maybe this is a little too far. Maybe block clutching like on the side here so you can still switch sides in the worst case scenario is maybe a better play. But it's not necessarily bad. It doesn't end up hindering his gameplay at all, or hindering his position until he slips and falls. Now it's really hindered. I think something that shines out to me from the perspective of watching Npesta play is he's very much so locked onto Velo's movements while he's defending. So for example here, as soon as Velo even kind of moves in one direction, he starts breaking the blocks in that direction. Velo starts moving the other direction, he snaps back to breaking the blocks in this direction. Right? He's very conscious of where Velo is moving. He's very much so adapting what he's doing to where he thinks Velo could or will go, which I will say, in most cases, is not a bad thing at all. That's a very, very good habit and mindset to be in. Here, you want to break this to make a side switch no matter what, right? You want to break these two blocks so you can switch sides whether Velo goes back forward or not. You're thinking, this is a chunk. These two blocks are, I break this, then I do the next thing, right? So breaking this, then seeing Velo, then switching over, breaking this, then switching back over, breaking this, kind of gives Velo a little bit of a gap where you'd have to break these two blocks now instead of this one. You could have maybe instead just snapped back to this one and then adapted off of it, but I assume that Npesta wanted to keep the Velo in his frame. If he turned this way, it would have turned him farther over and maybe not had Velo in his FOV. I don't know if that's what he's thinking. He might just be breaking blocks. It's not that deep. It's a very small interaction. I think it's a sign of a good habit to be in. The idea of like always be watching, always be passively like attentive to the direction that they might be going, while still moving accordingly, right? It's debatable whether exactly yeah, like there, that's a little fake. That's a little fake you can't fall for, I think. That right there, that like if you fall for that, if you are dropping here, if I'm dropping here, I'm thinking they might fake this, so I'm placing a block under me. Like, I'm placing a block under me to land on, so I can turn around and jump back up without having to jump 2 blocks. Because now Npesta has to turn around, he jumps 2 blocks. He would be here instead of here, which is very significant when it comes to this much of a like, this gives him that gap that he was looking for. That's why he did that fake, is for that exact thing. The way to prevent that is by playing it as though every movement could be a fake, right? It can be both. You want to, in defense... I guess just in the game in general, and a lot of competitive games in general, you're trying to adapt to as many possible options as there are. Right here, there's pretty much only 2. There's he goes here or he goes here. Right, he either goes forward or he fakes. Even here, it's still, yeah, like it's still not 100%. So you gotta be thinking, is he, like, there's 2 options. Which, like, how do I adapt to both? The way that you would adapt to both here is by placing a block here to land on. So if you do drop down here, you can land on a block and jump back up right away just as fast as he does. In any case, it's not the worst position. Ooh, the fumble and tumble. Okay. Yeah, I think Npesta plays this whole defensive thing very, very, he's very baitable in this interaction so far. Like, he's very much so. He got dropped, like, he sees Velo over here, jumps all the way, ooh, full commit all the way to the right towards him. And then as soon as he's able to actually adapt, fully turn back around, Velo's all the way already over here. He's like, oh shit, how do I get back? Don't fumble, block myself off. Oh shit, okay, he's in. So, yeah, just the idea there, don't, this whole thing, even the thing earlier, like what I was saying about placing a block under, is be aware of the options. If the option is fake and not fake, how do you put yourself in a position where both a fake and a not fake don't work? That's usually what position, like, good positioning means your opponent has nothing they can do. They have to find some weird new option, they have to form a new option because the available options aren't good enough, because you're preventing as many as possible. That's sort of the mentality that you should be having in these positions. But yeah, in any case, after this bothers me. I remember this bugged me when I saw it, because I'm like, in my head, right, I just saw the blocks down there, right? I just placed these. So in my head, I'm like, okay, when I respawn, I'm going to jump into the same hole, and I'm going to place these blocks. I think there's a missing one back there, too. If you go back, yeah, there's a missing one above this block, I think, as well. I'm thinking I can show you, actually, because I have the game open. So let's say this is the sort of, like, death pit that he fell into, right? It was looking like this, I think, and he placed... something like this, I don't know exactly, but he placed these, and then he dies and he respawns and he goes back here, and then he's like, when he respawns, he jumps like over here and tries to place the blocks from over here, but there's all this shit in the way, and it's like he doesn't know where the blocks to go, so it's like, but you just saw where the blocks were missing, you just saw them, you drop down in the same spot and you fill them up that way, you do the same, it's like you have the knowledge, why do you go the other way? I don't know, this one bugs me. Look. Oh no, he doesn't, he goes and rants and raves. Don't worry, I'm a ranter and raver too. Where's he going? Why? You know where the blocks are missing. Like, it's here, and here. You saw it through the thing, so why are you digging the other side? Anyway, that one bugs me. That one bugs me for some reason. I don't have a good reason for it, but that one bugs me. To be fair, he was getting heckled in the chat by I use Velo. He was getting the my pick didn't mind, which I don't know what the fuck that means. He went back in the replay and showed, I believe is what I just skipped over. It's really funny. But in any case. Ooh. I don't mind. Okay. So he drops here. He gets faked. He as he builds up, he places blocks under himself. This right here, he jumps another time here. This last jump is so unnecessary. You are in a comfortable position. You land here, you look up, you are stationary, you are solid. You are, if they try to run forwards, they're going to be doing something stupid because you're going to just be able to hit them because you have the low ground. All the shit. You're in the, I'm not a Q player. Like, you're in the, Q player is going to try to jump over me, right? Or like, you're in the position that I'm in a lot of the time, where I'm here, and I'm like, oh, I'm in a Q game, I'm gonna jump over this fool. And then you actually do the Q player thing of putting yourself in a really uncomfortable position by jumping. I don't like that. I don't like that. -2. -2 for that. But it's okay. It's okay. Mistakes happen. Here. Solid. No jump. No jump. Why jump? Get hit down, which is fair. I don't hate anything here. Yeah, nothing so far that I would really change, I guess. It's just trying to minimize the amount of development that Velo can do. I like that shot. Ooh. Yeah, that's just panicky. It's fair. That comes down to just like if you have enough of these, if you play enough of these positions, even in high intensity situations, you're less likely to throw them. This is like, I want the last hit real bad. You can see his aim shaking, you can see all that shit, right? This is just the classic, like, I gave it away because I was too scared rather than I should have given it away kind of thing. But, you know, that happens. That happens. Especially, I think Npesta's very angry at this stage. I think I remember that might have been the goal that I remember he yells in the game at. Which yeah, of course, very funny. I like to switch sides there. I don't like the just hope and pray. Like right there, he breaks this block. It's like, that's just... I honestly, if I was gonna do this, I would drop down, like I would see him aggroing, I would drop down here, I'd take my life as a miracle at this stage and just watch to see what they do. If they shift here, that's telltale, oh shit, they're breaking this block. Like, that's my head. That's in my head, right? If they shift here, they're trying to get a sneaky hit on you. Which I'm not sure if he sneaks, actually. I think he might sneak for a moment. Look up. Actually, no, I think they just jumped out of your range. Yeah, they just jumped out of his FOV. But in any case, they're standing in a position where their only option is to dig through. So if you make that no longer an option by just gapping, they aren't going to be able to aggro as comfortably as they do. Just get that one hit. Or you could even, there's even the option of like pav walling in offense. Which, you know, on low health maybe isn't comfortable. Oh, the flower pot. Didn't even get flower potted, and he got flower potted. He got flower potted in spirit just by the flower pot existing and being there. This is hell. I hate this. I hate this so much. This is what I was talking about before. Like, I think this is Npesta's sort of like comfort zone. This is where defensively he does much better than I could ever, because I'm lost in the sauce here. I'm a million miles away. That aggro is very good. That's one that I could see myself going for. That makes a whole lot of sense. But no, this whole, like, that whole interaction here and all of this, I can try to break it down. I'll try to watch and understand. This made sense, of course. He starts switching side. He gets flower potted in spirit. He looks over. He sees that he's not over here, so he assumes he's over here because he would have to move all the way over there. That makes sense. Gets those extra couple hits. Goes for the block. Oh. Yeah, that's fair. Getting baited into thinking that he's going up when he's not going up, so he ends up building up and trying to go get over the blocks because he starts gapping here. It would make a lot of sense for I use Velo to try to build up and then gap again. Instead, he just full starts gapping again. Maybe with audio you can tell. Oh, he even jumps. Oh, that's so bait. That's so good. That's good bait. I don't know how intentional that was from Velo, but that was good. In any case, though, obviously from Npesta's perspective, the ideal thing is to just punch through the blocks and smack him once with the pick. Ends up putting himself in a really uncomfortable position here, or just after that. Once Velo gaps here, it's like, oh god, danger mode. I'm not feeling super comfortable there. So switch sides over to here. Maybe while you're here, you can place a couple blocks under there to make it a little less comfortable. Especially since that is an aggressive like thing to go for, so maybe going for like some form of compensation is the play. Like you're breaking this block, you place a couple while you move away. It looks like Npesta was going for that hit there, which is crazy. This is Velo's hits to get. Like, there's blocks here, there's blocks in the way. They have your toes, you have their what? You know what I mean? This is a very difficult hit to get. That's super uncomfortable. It makes way more sense to Velo, for Velo to go mid, which in fact they do. I like that aggro, I will say, because if they are digging in, it's kind of imperative. I do think it's a bit of a bait. Like, yeah, it looks like Velo was trying to bait you and then block you off, which almost worked. And then kind of worked because Npesta turned back around. That one is definitely played a lot better. Is the idea of now you already know Velo's trying to dig a couple of these and then switch sides to bait you, so you just go over there for just a second, very much so anticipating that Velo's going to switch sides. That's the adaptation that I was talking about before. That's the prediction part of this game that I feel like Npesta very quickly picked up on there. In that instance, I fucked this up last time, let's not fuck it up again. I like aggroing from above there. Yeah, which is what I mentioned before. Okay. See, we did it. We broke down the situation that gave me anxiety. We followed. That's what really matters in bridges, is finding your weaknesses and allowing yourself to work through them anyway. Another one where Npesta looks like he just kind of panicked that last interaction there. I think he could have raced this. Is that ballsy to say? Last they were here, it was a whole like clusterfuck. There's all sorts of blocks everywhere, especially on this right side. I am racing 100% of the time. 100% of the time. Maybe even placing a couple blocks here while I run by to make it harder for them to build up and around. Because there's no chance. There's no chance. Like, place a block here and here, right above there. So, if, like, a lot of the time what they'll do is they'll, like, someone will fake drop, like here. It looks like he's shifting. It even looks like that's what he was going for, as a fake race. So, or like a fake drop down into a bypass. So you do that, place a couple blocks in front of them, it becomes a real race, or it becomes a, they can't hit you. And if they go for the hit, you can hit them off yourself. Thinking of the race in that position, in my opinion, because this is solos, right? This isn't twos. This is a solos position. You're thinking, or I'm thinking, racing. I'm thinking, like, that's practically my first instinct is, am I racing? Are they racing? How can I maneuver around this as if it is a race position, right? If it is a race position, I'm in the advantage because I don't think Velo can get across, so how do I adapt based on that? I see them drop there, I place a couple blocks because they're way too low to hit me, and I run. That's the sequence of events in my head. Dropping down here, yeah, it's a whole clusterfuck. He loses him for a second. It's actually, you know what, it's decided I am going to edit this because I have to go to the bathroom. Moving back to where we had left off. Yeah, this little bit of a clusterfuck. Moving in there. Looks like Npesta's going for cratering once again, which I think is a completely fair strategy there. I will say putting himself a little bit lower may have been a more comfortable position for him. Since he's very much so at the disadvantage here, he's very much so available to getting like foot trapped, which is exactly what happens here. So dropping into a more, aggressive, more in their face, more block off their stuff, continue cratering, build back up kind of position might have been advisable. Same thing here, again, aggroing, like staying very high up, staying very vertical is very much so putting yourself in a position that allows exactly this to happen, just getting foot tapped, and lucky that he was able to get that clutch off and not drop all the way down. But I think if I remember correctly, they get the hit here. Yeah, going here, shifting on the edge of this is bait. They're going to know where you are. They just hit you. Don't try to go for that play. Drop down early, get hit away, and then bow, or sit up top and bow are both completely fair options. They're at 1. They're not at 4, where you can't comfortably go for a bow shot. You can hit them once. Trying to go for this hit it's low ground. Like they have the low ground. It's chalked. So you got to go for the bow at this point. At least that's what I'm thinking in the position. Keeping in mind, again, I'm pretty sure Npesta was livid at this point, so maybe not like the great, like, this isn't supposed to be the analyzation of the best 2 bridge players to ever do it. These are 2 people who are playing ranked. This is just a random ranked game that Npesta decided to upload. I just accidentally skipped forward by accident. But these emotions are running high, right? This isn't in an ideal world. Ugh. I like how reactive that was. Like how quickly he reacted to placing a block here to get back into the action. I like how passively he played it this whole time, not dropping down there and getting baited. When he does play it a little bit too aggro, expecting him to switch sides and not do that, he gets hit back and immediately is able to react and get back into the action, hitting him off, going for that sort of hit them to the side kind of angled hit here. At this point, I think like right here, going for this hit where he tries to hit him over to the side is a really great play, and does end up working for a good reason, I think. Going for yeah, I guess it's fair. Trying to drop into this bypass maybe isn't super comfortable. I would probably be thinking break this block and head down though. Like I'm thinking I've got all this time in the world, rather than trying to build up and go over and get back up into a PvP interaction, especially since Npesta's definitely much weaker in PvP than he is in other positions. Right here, I'm thinking get into the pass, get into the nice, like, it really looks like Npesta's building a nice system here of going here and then being able to go either side. This side, maybe I remember it being blocked off a little bit, but the point is that it definitely would be a power position if he was able to get into this bypass. He's farther forward than Velo is. He has the power position. Going up into this PvP is giving up that pressure that he could have theoretically had from that defensive position. It ends up working out because he wins the PvP, but imagining that he didn't, imagining the idea, this is a 50-50, let's say it's 50-50 that he wins the PvP, which I think is probably less than that because Velo is better at PvP and wins more consistently than Npesta does. Going into that bypass would have been just a 100% being in a better position rather than a 50-50 shot at just losing and taking the disadvantaged position. The difference in development is almost comical in this game. The fact that this ends up being the scoreline that it does is pretty ridiculous, because this is like this, all this around there, and then on the other side it's like a little baby wing, some blocks, and a tiny bypass. It's funny. Obviously, you know, don't need me to say it, don't boost here. I guess it's like kind of like the middle ground where it's like whether you boost or not, they're going to be able to get over there. Because that is, like, you know, a makeable jump, especially if they double clutch, so it's fair. I actually really like that. Going for dropping here. What I would have probably done is played this passive. I would have sat here and reacted to what they do, but going for the more aggressive play, especially since they're gapping, you have the position to drop down and place some blocks in front of him, so do it. Yeah, I like that a lot. I don't like placing as many as he did, though. Right here, he kept building it up. Building it up is not the goal there. You want to, like... The goal of the deep, like, there's a reason that ribbons exist, right? There's a reason that, like, you don't just build out the hippo super big, and it's because these head hitters are what the defenders want, right? You build out two, like, that's why this wall, 944 is where we are. That's why this wall that he ended up building earlier was so tempting to build, right? This is because it's 2 blocks tall. They can't get through this, they don't have head hitters to build off of it, right? Here... Going back here, if he built this 2-block tall wall here, just leave it at that. That's perfect. That's super uncomfortable for them. That's just a barrier that they have to get across, right? So, but building up here, this not only puts him in a less comfortable position for himself, right, because he's more susceptible to like low ground hits and stuff like that, it also gives them more blocks to head hit her under. So definitely don't rate building that as tall as he did. This should be his. Oh wow. Yeah, nice. Yeah, very much so the disadvantaged position there. I don't understand why people type in chat so much in games. Just something I've noticed. Velo's definitely a talkative lad though. As you'll see as the game goes on. It's quite funny. And he already has been yapping this whole time. I haven't been commenting on it by choice because most of it isn't really worth paying attention to, but there is definitely something at the tail end of this game that is very much so worth paying attention to because it's hilarious. Playing this passively, I like passive active defense. Staying up in their shit while still staying far back enough like putting pressure on them without putting yourself like overextending. Like it, like it, like it. That's, oh Jesus! Going for that last hit there is aggressive. I guess I don't mind it because you get the hit on them and you die. So you're able to basically refill your health while forcing them to gapple. I don't mind that. They're building this. I think what did Npesta call it? He said the Berserk Tunnel or something. But he verbally said, yeah, he's skipping through to describe this, I think, is the goal of this, from Npesta's perspective, is to slowly mine out this bridge while also giving yourself access to both sides swiftly, which is true and fair and good. Velo did not use it the way it should have been used. It should have been used as a tunnel here, break these blocks. As soon as Npesta puts himself in an uncomfortable position, he could have placed 2 blocks here and then and been in practically. Like, very, very difficult position to defend from Npesta's perspective here, because Velo would have been way over here. Because if you look, I think once he actually gets to it, yeah, he's pausing and, like, if I go back a small bit, here, there's definitely a way to slip through. I guess there are blocks placed in the way, so it's not like super clean, but definitely, yeah, like look, that's what he ends up doing. He ends up sitting there and breaking those. Well, okay, so I guess he does, just not as quickly as I thought he should have. But in any case, this is just very uncomfortable. Like I like me in Npesta's position, I'm practically convinced I'm conceding. Like I am not feeling good here because, like I said, this is really just not my cup of tea. Oh no, he's in. Oh, he's not in. I thought there was like a tunnel that he could have slipped through at that point. I like blocking off that side there to making it so he only has one option to move out of. Npesta's play here is interesting because it looks like he didn't expect this to happen. Like, it looks like he didn't expect Velo to be coming across here, which is weird because he just gapped and also he just blocked off his only other exit, right? So his options are here, go back around, or go here, or I guess go up is also an option. But like, he looks so surprised, which I guess I don't really understand, but it works out. It ends up working out. That's definitely a good race, I think. Very much so, and I think this is the one where he says something like silly in the chat. Yeah, dude, my blocks didn't mine. Whatever that means. And then he actually looks at the replay, and it's like, not even close. Like, Velo's way back here when he scores. Like, as if that would have made any difference. A funny little anecdote there, but that's okay. Okay. Ooh, that's a crit. This last one here. Hit him. Bang right there. That's you go for the crit there. You, as soon as you land, you're jumping. At least I am. Yeah, I think I noticed Npesta. I think in this video he mentions that he wants PvP tips somewhere. And bar, like, you know, super in-depth, specific interaction, like, I think he's gotten to the point, skill level-wise in PvP, where it's hard to be like, this is the thing, this is the one, this is what you need to do all the time, because he's gotten to the point where, like, he's good enough at PvP to have, like, a decent understanding, generally, just more so, like, specific interactions where he could do something differently. But I guess I could do a little bit. I could, these 2 interactions, I guess, are interesting enough, so they both go for the bow hold. Npesta, there's no need to, like, switch away from the bow there. Like, this is, you're in just as much of a position as they are. Honestly, Npesta has like 0 ping, so actually just switching away and switching to a sword here, like, Velo might be a little bit too close. You could maybe get a hit or 2 off. In any case, though, a lot of the time people will go for that sort of fake out where they'll go, right? Npesta expects the but not the and ends up aiming a little bit too far mid, which is fair. It's just an arrow. That's just a accuracy thing. I think this is a hit I think you can get without getting hit back. If you just barely tap W. So right here, that was a hit select. You, like, Npesta got the second hit there. This is very much a position that it's like, hit select, Npesta got hit second, you can just sit back for a while, not even hold W. Like, let go of W at this point, and only right when you're about to hit him, you press W again, for the sake of the hit select, for the sake of getting that hit. Like, right here, this is when you start holding W again, because here, there's still, like, there's so much time where you're moving closer and closer and closer, giving, after hit selecting, after getting the advantage that hit selecting gives, he moves too far forward in to then end up getting hit again himself. which is, you know, not the end of the world, but definitely not, like, there was a combo opportunity that was lost. Velo going for the crit there is fair, assuming that he thought it would kill him, but it didn't, obviously. But now you again, I think, Npesta, you got the second hit there after this, so here, again. Oh, actually, no, you did get the hit end up first, but in any case, I think... Yeah, in this position, you just gotta go for the early hit. Yeah, jumping here is not where you're going. Either you jump earlier than this, and you go for the crit to go for the crit, or you never jump and just go for the hit, trying to get the 5 ping or whatever that Npesta has, trying to just get that hit and get that double hit. Because just going for like a weird jump after you hit thing is definitely not the play there. This is a good position for you. Ooh. Okay. Here, boom, you win. You win the PvP. You are winning the PvP. You are a rock, okay? The position here, you are no longer, a sort of, like, what is Muhammad Ali's, float like a butterfly, sting like a bee? You are not a bee or a butterfly, you are a bulldozer. You are a rock, you are a wall slowly pressing in forwards. You have a massive health advantage. You are thinking, okay, how do I put myself in a position in which I can't be knocked off and I can't be hit away? I want to just slowly move myself forward, hold pressure. I have the health advantage. So what I would be doing, I wouldn't jump, I wouldn't crit, I wouldn't do nothing. I would just slowly run. I would, like, split myself in the middle between these two blocks, and I would just run forward, look at them, and wait and click, and get ready to click. Like, that's what I'm thinking here. I'm thinking I'm forcing trades, I'm staying on the bridge, I'm positionally a boulder, okay? Slow rolling boulder, rolling boulder towards them. That's how you take advantage of massive health advantages like this. Is, oh, okay, I win this, I just have to not get hit off, basically. This is now a sumo match. In your perspective, this is a sumo match. You trade hits and you don't get knocked off. You just slowly bulldoze. And he jumps forwards and then he goes for like a sort of hit select, like he's taking too long to swing. You're thinking, hit him as soon as you can, force trades, get in their shit, hold pressure. Velo takes advantage of that, like, lapse of judgment and goes for the hits, like the dodge your hit even, and just gets a double hit, and all that advantage goes away. There you go. That's the PvP strats of the day. The little bit of PvP advice. Oh, wow. Ooh, I like that. That makes my brain happy. I always talk about, I think he even mentions reaction speed in the commentary, but I always talk about how, like, plays like this, it's just, you get the genetics to either be able to do this or not be able to do this. Like, don't get me wrong, good, like, incredible aim, head snap, this is great, that's fantastic. Either you have a low reaction speed time on like, speed, or what is it called, like, benchmark.com or whatever. Either you have a low time on that or you don't. And I'm assuming that he at least has a decent one. That was pretty good. Yeah, that's just a good hit. That's fortunate that he got that. I'll skip ahead because I think he just talks about that hit. Talks about the reaction speed same way that I did. Again, honestly, here, I'm thinking race, man. Like they have so much just garbage and grossness to try to, like, maneuver around. Like, I guess you did get hit by the arrow, but even then, man. I like this positioning. Sort of cratering, kind of. Immediately going up when Npesta immediately going up when he realizes that's an option for him. An option for Velo is a good, like, strategy. Like, you typically, as a defender, you want to be higher than you want to be lower. Like, you want to be above your opponent in most cases. That's obviously not a blanket statement that can't be applied everywhere, but for the most part you do. Because it means they can't go up over you. Starts trying to dig out that same tunnel, which does not work very well, and he's able to get that crit. That was well done. I like that play. That slow, you know. That is kind of the equivalent of what I was talking about before. He, like, on top layer PvP, he had the health advantage, but he played it too aggressive. He played it too panicky. He didn't know what to do. Here, he knows he has the health advantage. He's playing it like the bulldozer. He's playing it like the slow, like, you know, rock, like stone that he is, just slowly taking advantage of his position, slowly taking advantage of the health advantage that he has, just closing in on his prey, right? That exact same thing applies on top layer PvP. It's just a different scenario. That health advantage it's exactly how you should play it. Nice. Doesn't panic on going for that hit there. It's funny that worked. So it looks like he tries to break this block and then run forwards, but he doesn't, and he accidentally fucks it up, and then he gets hit, but the hit, I think it like hits him into the block behind him because he fucked this up. No, it hit him in this block. I think this block above him, right here. I think he head hitters this block. Like he gets hit and it hits him in the like corner of his hitbox, clips him into this block. And so he's able to slip away. That's so stupid. That's hilarious. Oh jeez. I think my chair is like broken. One of my like arms is very like loose. Anyway. I didn't notice it until just now. But yeah, that's funny that worked. So here, Velo's behind you. You can just like this is a massive opportunity to just get a massive head hitter out here, or you can do it here. Start the berserk bridge or the berserk whatever. Probably here though, because that's, you know, a more comfortable position. You can threaten both here and here, so they can't really drop down either way very comfortably. They're like, look how far Velo's back. Like, yeah, that's the position that you should be going for, not this weird sort of central thing that just gets you bopped away. Ends up not working too bad. Yeah, I think even here Npesta mentions that he's just not fast enough, right? He's just not mechanically there. And although that's true, I also think he has a weakness strategically as well, offensively. Like offensively, I notice he goes for a lot of what I would maybe describe as passive offensive plays, right? Like instead of trying to build that head hitter out and put yourself in a position where you're the power play, you're the piece of power that they're trying to adapt to, you're instead putting yourself in the back and waiting for them to come to you and then work off of that. Maybe good in doubles when you're trying to hold pressure, maybe good in doubles when you're trying to do that, but in solos, the aggressive, you know, maniacal play is definitely better there. That's ridiculous. So I think Velo must have jump reset that. Yeah, that's definitely a jump reset. But that jump reset fucked them over so bad. Because Velo, it looks like, yeah, they messed up the combo. They messed up the spacing in their combo. But it looks like almost intentionally, because it looks like they go for a jump reset, which is just not good because it puts them here. Like, this is not a good position from Velo's perspective. You just get the bop on them. Yeah, I don't know. That was strange. That was a weird one. Whoa, okay. Here, you look up, Velo's dropping the opposite side, you place blocks, you don't break them. You're trying to make it so they can't hit you. But in any case, just barely, Npesta is able to place a block under himself as he flies across here, to give himself just enough vertical momentum, like it resets his vertical momentum, he's no longer falling, and so he can instead reset and land there. Jesus. Very uncomfortable. That's a very funny play. Eyes up is all that really needs to be said here. Right here, you're looking at the opponent. You're not looking way over here. This is not where you want to be looking. You want your crosshair to be here. You want to be looking up while you go up these stairs to see if they dropped or not. Because if they did drop, you're trying to get up as fast as you can. If they didn't drop, you're trying to adapt to that next new position. The eyes down, praying that they fell for the juke is not the way, because it puts you here. They end up winning. Ooh, yeah, no, you're not winning that. You're not winning that race there. I'd probably start gappling right here. This is my position. I'm gapping. That's my thought. I'm here. I know I can't make it to the goal. I'm going to gap to give myself maybe the absorption. I don't, probably not the absorption at this stage since you're so far down the bridge, but give myself the reset of health. Put them in the position where they have to aggro. You're in the goal room. They're trying to, you know, it's the obvious. It's the classic Bucky Bar, Gapple in the goal room. The obvious play. Going for the aggressive one there is risky. That's, yeah, that PvP was silly. Looks like Velo just missed the hit. Why? Why did they go for you? Why did they go for an Npesta here? What are they doing? Why? That's such a weird... I guess it kind of makes sense. Like, you get the hit to reset their health and make them gap, but they're so far back. Like, just gap yourself. Just sit up there and gap. I don't know. I guess it's fair. Because, like, positionally, there's not much else of an option. That's interesting. Here, Npesta gets hit up all the way there. I'd be actually turning, maybe. I'd be trying to build up and out directionally this way. Trying to get up here is obviously going to kill the momentum. It's going to give Velos another option to get the hit. Once you get hit here, you don't have the space to block off. So yeah, it's just not the like. There's not enough space to go for trying to jump over there, I think. I love this bypass that Npesta has set up here. Very much so a 2v2 bypass. Npesta's offensive style is very much so, I think, tainted by 2v2. Which isn't necessarily a bad thing. Oh yeah, you gotta be thinking of the arrow there. You gotta be thinking, once you're here and they haven't hit you, they're not chasing you. Like, if you don't see them here, they're trying to go for the bow, you sit up here and then you stop. Yeah, it kind of looks like he tried to do that, but... maybe even before you stop up there, you bait the arrow. If you know early enough. Yeah, don't go forward there. Not enough health. Right here. You're gapping. You're gapping, and if they go forward, like, so here's the play. Here's what it is. Boom, you're at the health disadvantage. You're at a heart and a half. They're at 8. If they go for the bow, you just fake gap, try to dodge it. If they go for a gap, you also gap. If they fake gap, you go for the bow and hit them away. That's the spreadsheet, right? If they go for the sword and go for you, you also go for the bow and hit them away. Just holding W is not, like, you don't want to be closer to them there. You want to keep that distance. It's a very aggressive play. It's uncomfortable. It's fortunate that Velo wasn't able to get across quickly enough. Oh. Oh. I like chasing here. I don't like block hitting while you chase. I don't know how... Oh, I don't think he meant to right-click there. And if he did, I don't know why. That's just slowing you down. Oh, he's going back again. But yeah, dropping down is fair because he doesn't want to get caught out. I love that arrow dodge. That's incredible. That was very well played, goal room. So, idea is, go for the bow shot, right? Boom. Okay, and then if the bow shot hits, he's moving himself forward for the sake of, if it does hit, he has the position to get a couple hits in through that. Oh, arrow doesn't miss? Okay, let me go back and switch kind of the way I'm strafing back around to where I'm now protecting the goal. I'm closer to now protecting the goal. I'm able to hit them away from the goal because I'm strafing this direction rather than this direction, which also means that it sort of baited Velo into trying to sneak in this way towards the goal. Which, as you can tell by the way that they're aiming, is just not a comfortable position for them to be in. It ends up putting them in a much worse position. It ends up giving Npesta a second hit, which then Velo goes for the bow, and Npesta reads it, immediately dodges over to the side, which is a fantastic play. Just very well done all around. He goes back again. He was also apparently also very proud of this play. It was a good one. I'll admit it was a good one. It's funny. Yeah, I was gonna say, assuming that they're dead here is a risky sort of headspace to be in. I guess it doesn't really matter, because worst case scenario, they're not. That was good. Good to aggro there, because they had just used their bow, right? So there's no way that they could get up to him. And so then going for this aggro, maybe, honestly, Velo probably should have been going for the low ground hit here, rather than trying to just sneak through, especially since they smacked their shoulder on the wall there. I don't know, I guess we'll never know what he's talking about. Okay. Once again, turning is like assuming that he's dead is very scary, very risky a lot of the time, because he could have clutched. Oof. That ideally could have worked. You turn around here though. Right here, there's no way you're getting all the way down there. There's no way you're getting in that goal. You got to turn around. Also here, this is almost really well done. So what you got to do is you got to time this slightly different. If I were here, I would get this hit. Once that hit goes through, this is now a combo. This combo has started. Npesta got the hit second here, which means it's a hit select, which means Npesta is in the position to now pick them up and carry them as though they're playing boxing, right? What that really means in bridge is you get a double hit. So combo starter, you get the double hit. As you're falling down here, you go for that second hit. But it looks like, how does this? Oh, he was block hitting. So yeah, after that second hit, after he gets that hit second, he's still blocking. He doesn't have any forward momentum to be able to get that second hit for it. See, he tries to go for it, but he doesn't have the distance. It's because he's blocking too hard. So right here, after you get hit here, you got to assume that they're going to get it. Like, you have to be basically aware of the timing. You have to know when they're going to be able to hit you. As soon as they do, as soon as you get your hit, as soon as your hit goes through, you're no longer block hitting. Your right clicking is no longer the priority. You're holding forward, you're trying to get that hit. And to be fair, it does look like he tried to do that, at least to an extent. It was very close. Very close. Fair that he didn't get that, because it would have been awkward. Not an easy position to get the kill in. And that's a great goal. Just taking advantage of all the positioning that he has. Dropping the 1 second here, yeah, I think Npesta says it best.
No, is one. Watch what he does here. 1 second. No is one. I didn't even hesitate to ignore that command. He does not want me. He said later he was like trying to adjust his sensitivity or something. Fuck that. It is 40 seconds left in a ranked game in which he's up. No. I didn't even like. He's gonna be like, what the fuck? I don't give a shit, man.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about earlier, with a comical like message from Velo. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? This is a ranked game. There's 40 seconds left and you're up. Why? What? Like, that's the most obvious like tag, you're it, timeout. Play. It's so funny. It's so funny. But no, yeah, I'm very much so on Npesta's side here to continue playing out this game. Maybe I'll even let him.
Well, the game is over, but no, he wanted to. Luckily, I still have this bypass, so I just keep it fucking pushing. You know what I mean? 14 seconds left. I'm like, holy shit! If I do it now, it has to be now. So I drop. Luckily, I get that. Like that's first of all, this is crazy. I can't even believe this. I get hit against.
Yeah.
This fucking... It's 7 seconds left when the time is happening. I drop down here, and I'm hoping to either get hit onto the wing or down this thing. He hits me into the wing.
Yeah.
So I'm able to clutch it here, and I just keep going. And he races, I think. So I just keep it fucking moving. Or no, he doesn't. So I immediately...
and he fakes you onto the left there. I like that.
Moving. Or no, he doesn't. So I immediately get that, bam, in 2 seconds left to tie the game. Holy shit. He's pissed, quote unquote, because... You know, he wanted to fucking adjust his sensitivity so 40 seconds into the game. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, that's so ridiculous. I can't even articulate how much I'm on his side here.
Why the fuck do I give a shit about that? So we're playing Treehouse now for the second game. I'm much better at Treehouse than I am Urban.
So, okay, he's much better at Treehouse than he is Urban, so let's see how this one goes. This is what I was talking about before, where he goes for some form of development. I will say, strategically, there's maybe something to be said for doing the centerpiece here rather than a side first. Because it blocks off bypasses better in the early game, but it's not, the end of the world. I think both are completely justifiable, because the alternative is placing it in the center, which then makes building these other ones a little bit less comfortable, a little awkward. So I think it comes down to preference. I love how patiently he plays that. Really just sitting back and watching rather than trying to go for, I guess going for a hit there is maybe justifiable, but like I really like that passive play to go for the bow shot, wait patiently, very much so his position to win there, or position to lose, I guess, position to win, I don't know. He played it well. I like how he played that. I like bow holding here. I like right here, I like, instead of going immediately for the bow shot, charging it all the way to see if they actually go for that wing, because Velo, it looks like he was trying to bait out an arrow, but they baited it too early. This right here, yeah, no. So this is what I was talking about before. Like, the options are play it patient or go for the hit early. I think Npesta tried to get a little middle ground where he played it patient and also got the hit early. Like, he played it where he was just far back enough here. And if he really wanted to get if he wanted to play it patient, he would build up here. But it looks like he kind of wants to go for the hit, but he also kind of wants to play it patient. So he's like in this weird no middle ground. He's getting jumped over. This is a Q player. this. If I'm Velo, I'm doing the same thing 100 times over. This is a Q move. And I think Npesta mentions as well that was poor positioning, that the options are either aggro hit or stay back and protect, not both. Sorry, I was playing 2 times speed for no good reason. This is, fair. Not too much to analyze there. Well played. I like building up here. Again, this is the power position that he was in urban before, and he panicked and jumped forward. If like, he plays this significantly better in this position, right? Yeah, much better. It's the same. This is practically identical position. He just ends up playing it much more comfortably. Now this is obviously a different position because it's a different map. Oh Jesus, Npesta, do me a favor. Just like for 5 minutes, if you're watching this, if Npesta, if you're somehow still watching this, do me a favor, go into hippo practice, go into this map, and just run up and down the stairs and time your spacebar with the slabs, please. That's all I ask. 5 minutes, and it'll change your life. Because this is insane. Clipping it on each way, dong, dong, dong. That's brutal, dude. That's brutal. Sorry for laughing. It's funny. It ends up working, because I remember. Yeah, he ends up being able to shoot him away here. So this is as far as I get. This is as far as I got before I was like, okay, I'm gonna do a blind react. So I'm pretty sure I don't remember any more of this game. I haven't watched any more of this game. So a good bypass drop down there. Whew, that looked a little bit panicky. This is maybe a little bit aggressive. So right here, trying to go for a switch sides there, they just broke this block here. I would be expecting them to be able to hit me very soon. If this block is missing, they're going to be able to hit me soon. So going for a side switch here means, oh no, I'm dead. Because it means they're like right here, they're going to hit me, pew, I'm going to go flying. So I'm thinking, if I see this block missing in the corner of my vision, I'm thinking back. I'm thinking turn around, run back. That's what, or maybe build a back wall and build up, maybe. But they have the height advantage unless they aggro. So switching sides here is very aggressive. It's an interesting play. They ended up playing patiently, which ended up working in this position. But I think was take advantage of a bull. Definitely had was not as pressured as Npesta made it look like he was. Like he had more comfort, he had better positioning. That was weird. What? So Npesta apparently didn't know where Velo was? Like here? Which is fair, I guess, but he only really has one position that he's going to go from there, especially if he hears the block being broken and placed. So he really panics and starts hitting him with his pickaxe, which is funny. That's good. Yep, don't void there. You go for the bypass from mid, which I like a lot. Just continuing. Yeah, so here, you get here. This is no longer an option. They just respawn. They're gonna drop down here immediately, right? This is the danger zone for your opponent. Your gold mine is behind you. If you're Npesta here, if you're in the offensive position, you just got here, they're gonna be like, massive gap. They're gonna be like, oh god, oh fuck, danger here, big danger here. When like Yeah, they're right, but the issue is that them knowing that, them doing that, them predicting that, that means if they drop down here, you can just, they're always going to drop down here. They're always going to be protecting this. You just turn the fuck around, man. You just turn the fucking around, build up. Because this, I mean, look, immediately punished for trying to go across that big, gaping, obvious hole that you should, like, it's very tempting, but it's not the way to go there. Not the way to go there. Like this defense. I like placing that block. That whole thing I loved. Really liked how that was played. Jump over him. Ooh. Yeah, so health disadvantage because you missed the shot. I'm thinking jump over him. It's because there's so many bypass blockers and stuff. It's awkward for them. Actually, no, there's not. Well, you have the hippo. I don't know. In any case, though, going for that is definitely not a good idea, especially since the arrow was missed. Like maybe even here you start trying to place blocks in front of him rather than go for the interaction. That's how uncomfortable it is for you, for the defender there. Yeah, that's you don't drop down right here. Honestly, as soon as I drop down here, I'm voiding. I'm not gonna lie. The second I make that mistake, I'm voiding. Like trying to switch that. I'd probably turn around if I'm being honest. I wouldn't void, but trying to switch sides, trying to get that hit, it's too late for that in my opinion. Awkward position, playing it patiently. I like. Ooh, he got baited. Oh, he dodged the arrow, but he fell. Oh yeah, that's unlucky. So here, probably, once you get hit here, you're going for the PvP. You're thinking PvP. Okay, they turn around. Oh god, oh fuck, build up. Not continue going. Like, I think Npesta was just like a step behind throughout this. It's here, it's PvP. Oh, he's turning around, not PvP anymore. This is no longer PvP. And Npesta just, like, jumping forward there, that's just a little bit slow, a little bit too late. Ends up having a hard time getting back up. Here, I like the idea of jumping over and dodging to dodge that arrow. He just jumps too too early. To be able to land that jump. Like, you gotta be on this edge of the block, you gotta wait rather than right here. So it ends up just missing that jump. Normal. That's just a normal parkour thing that he missed. And then, you know, that's just a hard position to win from his perspective. All right. Oof. Okay. So here, you're both trying to do the same thing. Both Npesta and Velo are trying to do the exact same thing, except the difference is that Velo has a back wall and Npesta does not. That's the main difference in this position. Therefore, Velo is more comfortable. Velo is in a better position. Npesta should be trying to get a back wall. Either trying to get a back wall or bypassing right here. Those are the two options. Trying to go for this position is not comfortable from Npesta's perspective because of the back wall that Velo had. I can tell Npesta's a little panicky. It's a very similar position here where Npesta just felt the whole time just one like half step behind. Right here, he goes for the like pickaxe when it's too late. He goes for the sword hit when it's a little too late. He drops down when he shouldn't. He like tries to go for the pickaxe when it's too late. He misplaces the block. Like just everything just a little bit slow there. But he's definitely panicking at this stage, I'm sure. I'm curious now because, like I said, I haven't actually heard this. I don't know what he's saying at this stage because he just skipped backwards in his video. So I wonder what he's saying. I wonder what his commentary is going to be opposed to mine. I guess we'll see. I guess we'll see after the game. Any case, though, I'd be panicking. If I'm down 3-1 after, you know, as close of a game as it was last time, I'd be having a time. I would be stressed. Offensively, definitely panicked here. Once you're past him, you gap. You gap. You don't need to go forward. There's no chance. If the reason for going forward here is because you think Velo is racing, you're a psycho. If Velo races there, he's a psycho. That would be the worst race I've ever seen in my life. You're playing it like you could sit and eat a full gap and then go forward, and you still win the race. Like there is no reason to play this as aggressively as he does. It's just putting himself into a uncomfortable position there. Offensively, like when you need the pressure this badly, you got to play it smart. I think is at least the thing that would be going through my mind. So going for hyper aggressive plays is like the bait. That's the bait of the position. Is don't play it like a lot of the time. You'd be surprised by how many times going for a super aggressive play, going for a nice strategic like system slow development play will pan out better. Breaking that block, I assume he's pointing out the fact that he broke that block above his head, which is I completely agree is fantastic.
So I immediately start this long platform that he can't hit me on. So I do this, and I realize he's gonna drop. So I immediately start lining up, block him off, block that off so he can't get me. I'm in.
Yeah, that's incredible. That's really well done. His commentary on it is just about just about as good as what I would say, because that is really like thinking to break that block above his head is definitely what gave him that win there. Okay, this is fine. It's not great, but it's fine. I love gapping. Oh, it doesn't go through. Oh, I thought he had that. That's brutal. That's brutal. Thought he had that in time. Obviously, to fix that, you just gap it a little bit sooner. Punch him. That's just a mistake by Velo. Oh, I love building. Oh no, he panicked. He panicked. He built up is perfect, but he panics here. You got to keep building up. You gotta break the blocks above your head, or it works out though. Still manages to get back up. Velo is not able to get across. This is a comfortable spot. I'm feeling good here. Oh Jesus. Okay, that worked. Okay. So here, yeah, that's fair. A lot of people drop down back there. I think that's a fair play. Going back is also a fair play. Oh Jesus. It looked like Npesta wanted to do like 8 things all at once. It looked like he wanted to jump on here. It looked like he wanted to jump here. It looked like he wanted to drop down and shoot. It looked like I have no idea what he was trying to do here. But whatever it was, it just really it scares me deeply. And the fact that it worked blows my mind. I want to hear what he says.
I wouldn't say there was anything super skillful that occurred necessarily. It was one of those it happened so it did situations where I just walked at the right time to get the...
That's what I'm saying. I have no idea why that worked. That's ridiculous, but I'll take it. That's a good way to put it. That's funny. That's nice. Good way to abuse the spleef that an opponent does. Nice. Good reactions. Good to be ready for them to go for the fake gap. Switch over. See them in front of you. Nice. Danger. Why aggressive? Why did it work? It didn't work. Okay. Here's what I'm thinking. So boom. You see where he is. Boom. Danger. Okay. I am not putting myself in a precarious position. They just showed where they are. They're going to be trying to dig towards you. That's what I'm thinking. So if they're trying to dig toward me, I'm not running into a position where I can get hit off. I'm not running into a position where I can get hit off. I'm maybe turning around. I'm maybe going up. I'm maybe going down. I'm not going out forwards into new unprecedented territory where I can get booped off in one. Okay, well, it worked. You're here now. Okay, cool. Oh, you get hit. Do you see them over here? Goal! Run! There's way too many blocks for them to get across. Run, go! Don't turn. Why turn? That's what I'm thinking, personally. That's my headspace here. I wonder what he's saying. I want to hear what he's saying. I can't help it. I can't help the temptation.
That's a shame. I was looking for him. If I found him sooner, I could have just run in, but I needed to see if he was going to aggro me. It's very important in that situation.
Yeah, here, run. Don't go for the hit, run. There's blocks. Go.
And I saw him, but I was confused. I thought he was aggroing me right there. By the time I turned around and realized, it was too late.
That's fair. I understand it. Definitely a lapse, but it's fair. Okay. That's... I don't mind gapping here. Like, I don't hate it. Like, because you are definitely, like, it's in that same position defensively where it's like, well, I die and just respawn with full health when they don't have it, so it's kind of an advantage anyway. But, like, it at least gives me Bare minimum gives me time to get back. I would be cratering here. I'd be thinking of trying to crater. I'd be thinking of trying to place myself in front of them and just dig out a bunch of blocks to make it really hard for them to move forward at all. Trying to aggro from above is very much so bait. It's very much so, oh, they're in. Very easy to get yourself caught up on these blocks here, top layer. It doesn't end up happening, it looks like. Yeah. Still able to keep himself in between Velo and the goal. Man, I mean, that's just how it goes. You're just a little bit too close there, I think. A little bit too close, especially right there when you're baiting out forward. Oh man, yeah. That's what can you do? Skip ahead, like fast forward because it looks like he's talking. I'm sure he says something insightful there. But wanna see how this game ends. Oh wow. So Velo hard missed a hit, it looks like. Yeah. They go for the bow shot and miss. Oh man, Npesta. Chill the fuck out, man. If you're this far off target off of butterfly clicking, like panicked butterfly clicking, that is crazy. That's awesome. I totally feel it. I'm poking fun, but I totally understand. Been there. Ooh. Okay. It's nothing super, it's intense, but nothing super crazy. Like, I think he's playing it quite well, putting himself in the positions that make a lot of sense. Ooh. Oh, I didn't even notice he voided. I didn't even notice he died. That's nice. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's nice. Alright. That's comical. Nice. Oh no, go. Oh, nah. That's your position, man. Okay. Boom, hit. You get hit away, you go forward. You, like me, I'm here, I'm aggro in this. I'm comfortable. I'm skirting up next to this wall and I'm just full like, I have the health advantage. I'm comfy. I'm not trying to run away. Trying to run away gets you dead. Trying to hit him gets you better offensive positioning. Hit him again. Punch him again. Yeah, so here, they start gapping. They're going for that pre-gap health, pre-gap health advantage. You go to smack him. You switch to your sword, you run forward. They're going to stop gapping. It would have been a fake gap. Then you hit him away, then you shoot him, then you can maybe gap to even it out. But shooting, like letting go of that arrow loses you the, the rod capability, like a rod, like what rods do in terms of knockback. They hit you away for bow combos and rod combos and stuff like that. You lose your bow, you lose your arrow for that, and you also, and are just obviously way too far away. So do not shoot there. You bite your tongue, switch to your sword, eat the health disadvantage for the advantage that you get from having your arrow, and try to use that rather than throw it away right away. Debatable to race there, actually, maybe, but it looked like that's what Velo was ready for, so it ends up just giving you a free hit off. This is lovely. Yeah, you're in. As soon as I'm thinking the same thing. The second I drop down here, I'm like, I look at this, I'm like, oh, please race. I see this, I'm like, oh, it's free. It's free. It's absolutely free. That's awesome. So yeah, okay. So there's 7 minutes left. There's only a couple minutes left in the game. I want to see what he's saying.
That lag to bypassing. I just straight up drop, and I'm like, okay, I remember I have this bypass to the left. Perfect bypassing.
Yes.
Barely score. He claims it to be lag. Let's talk about that lag. All right, let's go look at that lag, because I have strong opinions about that lag not existing. Where was it in the replay? 734. That lag didn't exist. He was just slower. Let's look at my position. This is my position.
Him stuck it on the bar.
This is his position. He is a straight up block. It was a close race, okay, but he was a block above where I was, just straight up, right? Like that is not where I was. My head was under the fucking line. You know what I mean? Like I was in the goal. Whether or not he wants to accept that, that's his fine. But there's no lag here. No lag occurs. He got a good line, but
if there was any lag, it would have to have been like consistent lag. Like his ping would have had to have been increased by like 50 or 100 within the span of time between him getting like him racing that and him scoring, right? Because that didn't look like he spiked right above the goal. That looked like he just lost a very, very close race. So unless his ping somehow increased by 50 to 100 in between the start of the race and him scoring, that was not lag. But either way, let's continue. We're 4-4. Oh, yeah. GG.
Time over. I have never in my fucking life won a game by that small of a margin with so many lucky things happening to me in a row. I honestly can't believe it. And I don't know if I can beat that guy again ever, but that's how those games went. I didn't play terribly. I know I need to develop more, but if you're a good bridge player and you're watching this and you have any advice for me, please let me know. I'm trying to improve in solos because I want to get top 16 in the ranked season. And so far, I think I have top 16, but I'd like to get higher up. This was by far one of my toughest opponents, though. It's probably because this guy's just so good at PvP, but I would love any advice you guys have. Thank you so much.
Of course. I mean, hey, after I record this, I listen to the end, and he's shouting me out directly. He might as well have said my name. Come on now. No, I'm kidding. No, this was really fun. That was a great video. This is the rage that I wanted to show.
What?
So this is...
What the fuck happened there?
So this, he just, like, Npesta fully whiffs this hit, right? There's nothing to say here other than he just fully whiffed the hit.
I didn't like that. What? I got really mad at that one. I'm heated at this point.
I love Npesta so much, dude. He's so funny. But this was super fun. This was great. This was good. This was helpful not only for, hopefully, you guys, like, not only helpful for you guys in terms of helping you guys develop your game, and also maybe helpful for Npesta if he decides to watch this full thing. I don't know. I might cut, like, I think I might edit it really lightly and edit out me going to the bathroom and then not touch it otherwise. But in any case, I hope that it's helpful for you guys. I hope that it's helpful for Npesta if he decides to watch it. But irrelevant to that, it was helpful for me, honestly. It was nice to watch some games and fully break it down and actually understand, especially if you remember me saying that this is a defensive weakness of mine. Watching this whole thing go down and from the perspective of a player in who I trust defends these positions very well in Npesta, it was really nice to watch. This was fun. This was awesome. Obviously, you know, there's some dissing, there's some complimenting going on. So, of course, Npesta, if you are still watching this, none of this is personal. Obviously, it's a bridge game, or it's a video game that I'm just giving my perspective on. Once again, orienting towards the beginning where I said that I'm sure I'll disagree with 100% of this, right? Or I'm sure somebody will disagree with at least everything that I say. Is that articulated? It doesn't matter. The point is, this was awesome. I'm gonna drop a +2. On here. This is a fantastic video. This is a fantastic time to record this. Or I had a fantastic time recording this. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. I'm going to go ahead and edit this and maybe render it overnight. We'll see. But yeah, in any case, thank you so much for watching, whoever this is. If anybody sees it, it's going to be going to a second channel. It's going to be like over almost 2 hours. So we'll see. But in any case, ranting and raving over. We're done. We're heading out. Thank you so much, and I'll see you.